Yes, we are back in Sepang again, and yes, we are back here for the Civic again. But today's Civic is actually a little bit different because we are here to actually preview the new hybrid-powered Civic EHEV. In terms of appearance, the new Civic EHEV really isn't all that different to the existing Turbo RS variant. And that's because the EHEV variant is also going to be equipped with the RS body kit and also the rear black coloured spoiler. Of course, there are some differences that you can actually pick out which is the EHEV and which is the Turbo RS. So the most obvious change here is obviously all of the EHEV emblem as well as the Honda logo with a blue outline. But aside from that, the EHEV here also gets some chrome details, especially on the front grille, on the window surrounds at the side here, as well as on the door handles. And as you can see, it also gets a different set of wheels. They are still 18 inches, but it now gets a two-tone silver and black look instead of the pure matte black one on the Turbo RS. Over at the back here, you still get the same black-coloured ducktail spoiler, the black-coloured shark fin antenna, and even the smoke tail lamps. But the main difference here, aside from this EHEV badge, is actually you only get one tailpipe exit instead of two on the Turbo RS. And exclusive to the EHEV variant, in addition to your normal key fob over here, you also now get this sleek looking key card, which is just crazy thin. Honda says this is 2 credit cards width, and basically you can just slot it into your wallet and this will be your card to enter and drive the car. So yeah, that's basically all of the changes you can find on the new Civic EHEV RS. And we unfortunately can't show you the interior just yet. That will have to wait for the launch, but that's okay because the main highlight of this EHEV is obviously underneath the bonnet. So instead of the 1.5-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine you get on the Turbo RS variant, you now get one of Honda's most powerful EHEV hybrid powertrain in here. The powertrain consists of a 2-litre naturally aspirated Atkinson cycle engine paired to 2 electric motors. Now, uniquely to Honda's EHEV system, the engine here doesn't actually drive the wheels for the most part. That job goes to the traction motor which powers the front wheels, while the other electric motor basically functions as an electric generator to translate power from the engine into the battery underneath the rear seats. As a system, this powertrain here actually makes 184 horsepower, which is quite comparable to the Turbo RS, but most importantly, it also makes 350 Nm of torque, which is 75 Nm more than the Turbo RS. But how does this powertrain actually feel to drive? Well, for that, let's head out onto the track and find out for ourselves. Before we actually drive the new hybrid Civic, Honda Malaysia wanted to remind us how the standard Civic actually feels like to drive for a more direct comparison. So we were sent out for a few laps in the 1.5-litre turbocharged Civic RS just to give us a short refresher. Well, of course, we are quite familiar with this car already, having driven it for so many times. But yeah, it's still a brilliant car, which I very much enjoy, but now we're gonna actually go and check out how the EHEV feels in comparison to this Turbo RS. So we are now in the new hybrid-powered Civic EHEV, and unfortunately I won't be able to show you the interior again. That won't be the main focus here today because obviously we want to see how this car actually drives, how it feels, how the new powertrain actually performs, especially under a more higher stress situations like on the track. So the first thing is slalom. We're going to do it at 60 km per hour. Yeah, it still handles brilliantly. But from my short observation, jumping in straight from the turbo into this, is that I think you can definitely feel the extra weight on the front end. You can feel a little bit more inertia and the car just feels like doesn't turn in as sharp as the Turbo RS. but still pretty impressive. Right, so now is the acceleration test uphill at turn 9. So in 3, 2, 1, I'm going to full throttle. Oh, there's definitely less lag than the turbo variant. Taking this corner a bit quickly. Yeah, actually it still handles very well. The body still mostly stays flat. For the next step, we're going to try to push it a little bit harder to try and see what is the main differences between the two cars. And one thing that's actually surprised me is how fast this car accelerates. That's full throttle and I am already past the national speed limit. Okay, let's try to do this lap a bit quicker, yeah? It's definitely a lot more power than the Turbo RS. It actually feels very nice to pull it out of corners because it's mostly driven by this traction motor, which means you get basically an EV-like kind of response on the acceleration, making it very easy to modulate your throttle to pull yourself out of the corners. One thing I noticed though is the brakes. I don't know if I'm just pressing it a little too hard, but it feels a little bit over-eager. I'm worried it's actually the car's regen braking kind of calculation thing. But the city EHEV, I don't remember it being like that. Let me go and try it out one more time. So 30 kilometers per hour and full throttle. Now this car doesn't actually have a proper gearbox connected to the driveline, but the feeling it gives when it's accelerating is actually, it just feels like a normal automatic car with an automatic gearbox. Skipping the slalom again. It actually picks up speed very fast. I'm already at 130 in this short acceleration, now braking. Yeah, the brakes are definitely a bit more eager, I would say that. But the body control of this car is still very impressive. You can definitely feel its weight, especially through these faster corners, but I don't think anyone would complain driving this. And even across the curbs, it still feels very comfortable. But the 75 extra Newton meters of torque, you can definitely feel it. Well, for those who like to accelerate on the highways, well, this is an easy choice. And I think the best part about having a hybrid powertrain is actually, now that I've stopped here at the pits, it's completely quiet. And if I want to drive off, I can also drive off in complete silence. And for those of us who are always stuck in the traffic, well, I think that's a very valuable change. Yeah, still a brilliant car to drive. Even though it feels a bit heavier, I still like it a lot. So we've tried the cars on the track now, and well, if you're still not convinced how much more powerful this new hybrid variant is, why not we do an actual drag race side by side between the EHEV RS as well as the Turbo RS. And for those of you who have been already paying attention, the results will be quite obvious, I think. So the next test for us today will be a drag race between the EHEV variant that I'm driving now against the petrol Turbo RS variant. I'm sure I'm gonna win, okay? So I'm gonna not even try. I'm gonna put it into normal mode and just full throttle and see how it does. So we're gonna be accelerating to 100 kilometers per hour before stopping. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, go! I'm already ahead and I'm 85, 90, 95, 100. I'm sure that guy is already running in sports mode and I'm just in the normal mode. And well, let's see how much does the sports mode actually make a difference. Okay, I'm in sports mode now. I'm ready at the line. Okay, this is the second run. In 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, this is a lot faster. The gap is crazy and it definitely sounds a lot better. Wow, that is crazy. But yeah, that extra 75 Newton meters, especially when you take off from a standstill, is just so obvious. Well, the gap even from the get-go is just building and building and building. Okay, so this is our final run and you know what, I'm gonna give him a bit of a chance. Okay, I'm gonna put it into econ mode and then we'll see.
Okay, last run.
Make him
in
happy.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh no, even in econ mode. Oh no. Okay, I'm so sorry, but yeah, that was econ mode. I'm gonna be switching over to the Turbo RS variant next, and well, I'm gonna be feeling exactly how he's feeling right now. So I cannot be too happy, but yeah, the difference is actually crazy. Okay, so I'm in the petrol car now, and well, we all know how this is gonna go. So I'm actually gonna put my GoPro right over here, so you guys can actually see that car accelerating away instead of my face being all sad and all that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Losing is never fun, and it's especially worse when it's losing by that much. I got my GoPro, you guys can see that car just running away. I'm gonna put it into maximum sport mode so I have a chance.
Okay, this will be the first run. In 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, the lag is quite a lot, and well, yeah, it's already pulling away. As you can see from the drag race results, the new Civic Hybrid is actually quite a bit faster than the standard turbocharged variants. And after whipping it about on track, I also think that it makes it a little bit more fun to drive, thanks to the more responsive throttle pedal, and even though it's now a bit heavier, I don't think its handling actually suffered that much. So all that's left now is the pricing, which Honda still isn't sharing just yet. The car will be officially launched here by the end of the year, and they've also told me that it's going to be positioned at the top of the variant tree with specifications to match, so take that as you will. But given a choice, will you opt for the hybrid or regular turbocharged power? Let us know in the comments below. But if you ask me though, I'll definitely be going hybrid.